Hello everyone, it is me, Christian Pony Lover here again, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing another big custom. So for today's video, I'm going to be customizing this beautiful pinto mare. For a while now, I have wanted a model horse in a laying down pose, but Schleich doesn't actually have a horse laying down pose. They do have a foal and I do own her, but not a full grown one. So I'm going to be attempting to make this girl in a laying down pose. So it's going to be kind of a what happens, if it goes right, if it goes wrong kind of video. I'm pretty sure she's going to turn out pretty good. It shouldn't be too hard, but as they say, it's always easier said than done. So let's get started. So here's the craft supplies that I've used for this video. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by using a Sharpie. On the spots, I'm going to cut her to repose her. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll see where we're at. Alright, now I have added all the marks on her on where I'm going to cut her. Her tail will be completely removed. Don't worry, I'm going to add a new tail in the end. Her legs are going to be completely removed, but a little bit. So I'm just going to cut pieces of the plastic that won't need to be there anymore and just continue to repose her. I will also be using a hairdryer to just kind of melt her a little bit to make the legs a little softer so they're easier to move. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the saw. Alright, I brought out a 2x4 to place her on when I cut her, so it won't ruin my table here, which still has the blanket on it. I brought out my multi-tool because it just has a smaller saw on it, so it'll be able to do smaller details on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So her tail has been officially removed. I'm going to go ahead and sand her bottom down just so it becomes nice and flat, and she's looking really good. I know really nothing has been done besides me removing her poor little tail. I might use her tail for something else someday, I'm not really sure. So I'm going to continue on working on this pretty girl. So right now what I'm currently doing is trying to sand down her tail so there is no more remnants of her tail. So I have found a small piece of sandpaper here, and I'm just lightly going back and forth, a little harder than that actually, it's more like that. So I am also picking up the sandpaper and doing a little more, but right now it's becoming very smooth and I'm really liking how it's turning out. So this is just what I am currently doing, and I'm trying to show you all the very best I can on the process on how I'm coming about doing this, because I know there is no tutorial out there on how to make a laying down horse, and there might never really be one, but this is just how I'm going about doing it. Alright, and this is what her tail, or well, where her tail was, is looking like. It is very smooth now. I really like it. You can still see there's a little tiny bump out. I'm going to go ahead and leave that for when I resculpt her tail, so I have a reference point. So I'm going to go ahead and cut on the other little marks and start reposing her. I am like so excited just because I have wanted a model like this for so long. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, and we have made it to this stage. I'm not really sure what this stage is, besides finding out that Schleich's plastic is a lot tougher than what you originally thought it was. Stage. So I have cut a very large divot right there, and then I realized, oh, I will probably need something so that the leg can actually move upward. And apparently I've gotten there. If I try really hard here, I have managed to get the leg to go up, but it is very hard. So, and every time I flex it up and down, it's just coming more off, and it's not wanting to stay in the position I want it to stay in. So I think I might have to completely remove it to get it to go into the position that I wanted. Just a little disappointing because I was hoping I wouldn't have to drill into the body and the leg because it can be a little fragile. I knew I'd have to do it for a tail, but not so much for 4 legs. And plus we also have the knee joint and the hoof joint. So yeah, but this is just how these kind of projects go, is you never know how they're gonna go. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue working on this girl. I'm sorry I'm not giving you a whole lot of footage on me working on her, but it is just so tedious and quite hard, and it would just be a very, very long video, I think, if I were to, but it's going pretty good. Here I can kind of show you what I'm doing. So I pretty much just been sawing at her leg. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue doing this, I guess, and then we will see where we're at. It finally stayed in position. Yay! I didn't have to take it completely off. I am like so happy. I'm gonna continue working on this lovely girl. Okay, and I was trying to gently reposition leg number 2, and yeah. So I'm glad I didn't have to do this on the other leg, but oh well, I guess I just got a little too deep. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sand this as well as sand the leg. It just wasn't, it was like hurt because it's not as far forward as the other one was. So it needs to be more like here. So it just needs to be a bit more forward. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue repositioning this leg, and I'll just sand this off, and it will just probably be a ton more easier to get this leg where I want it. So yeah. These kinds of projects can definitely be up and down, and this leg is supposed to be at kind of a tilt here because I got this lovely girl out, so she has been helping me reposition this girl. So I'm hoping the pose will be very similar, but trying to not make it exactly the same. So maybe I'll make the back legs a little more tucked in, but we'll see. This just might be how horses lay down. So yeah. So I'm going to continue working on this girl, and this project is definitely up and down. So as I was cutting the back legs, the front one decided to come off, so I just decided to make the decision that I'm going to be removing all the legs and drilling holes into all the pieces, and in the end, this works out really good. So I'm quite happy with my decision in the end. And now all the legs have been removed. I just decided to do this because it would be easier, and just because not all the legs are in the exact same spot, that I decided that just removing them all together would be a better result in the end. I know she kind of looks creepy, but also kind of cool right now because this is like a really good stage process. So I think it should be pretty easy from now on. I need to drill some holes in her, and then we'll drill some holes in her legs and see what we are going to be doing next, which I pretty much know what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put wires in her, epoxy, let it dry, and all that. And my hand's shaking like crazy. So let's continue on this sweet girl. Alright, and this is what she currently looks like. I've just laid out all the pieces, and I'm just kind of messing with them right now just to kind of see what I'm going to do. There's my cute little laying down foal. I'm using her as a concept right now. So she's looking good. She looks a little funny, but she's looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and put some marks and holes in her next. Alright, and as I have been messing with the pieces quite a bit now, I have discovered that Schleich plastic / clay is much stronger than what I anticipated. So what I'm going to go ahead and decide to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut where each muscle bends. So then I'll be able to drill holes, and then I will be able to manipulate them much easier, and it'll just be a lot more easier for me. This was not my original plan. My original plan was just to make a few little cuts in her legs, bend them, melt them, add a little bit of epoxy, let her dry, and paint her. It's like they always say, easier said than done. So this is just what I'm going to go ahead and do next. but I'm pretty sure she's gonna look pretty good in the end, and I've already picked out a coat color and name for her. All right, everyone, after just a little bit of work, this is what she's looking like. This is leg 2 actually, and it actually says a number 2 on her leg, so this is actually leg 2, and it's folded over and under her, so this is the tucked under leg, and she's looking really good, and it's just looking good. And so as you can tell, I took every little joint apart, and it made it so much easier to bend them in place. Then I'm going to be working on the next front leg and so on and so forth. So she's looking super cool. I'm absolutely loving this, and I'm just in love with her as I was from the beginning of this project. And leg number 2 is on. Actually, this is like leg number 1 in the beginning, but now she has 2 front legs back on, and she's looking really good, and I'm loving how she's looking. She's looking really good. Things are really fragile right now, but she is looking awesome. I absolutely love this, and I am so excited to have this model have a laying down, fully grown horse, so I am super excited about her. All right, and the back left one is on. It's giving me just a little bit of trouble as I set her down, but I think it'll be really good in the end. And it's kind of in the way of the next leg, but I'm gonna be able to work around it, I think, and she'll look really good in the end. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead here and explain what I'm doing. So this is one of my pieces of leg here. So I've been putting little Sharpie dots on both sides of the leg. I only put one on the hoof because we don't need to go all the way through the hoof. So I go ahead and drill through this side, and then I drill through the other side. Then I'll take this piece of wire and I fold it over, and then I stick it in the leg. Using my pliers, I'll push it in as far as I can just to make it nice and secure. I'll show you with the drill, but I put a little tiny piece of masking tape on the drill just so I won't drill too deep. And here is the drill I am using. I am using the world's most smallest bit that I possibly can find, and then I put a piece of masking tape as far as I want to drill into the leg piece. So here's like a leg piece against the drill. So I don't want to drill super far into the leg, but just enough that I'll be able to secure the wire. So this is what I've been doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill some holes, put the wire in, and attach it to the horse. And I am proud to announce her final leg is on. She is looking super cool, and I love that pose. Like, I'm trying to here's like an overview. But she looks really, really good, and I absolutely love how I've managed to pose her, because you can still see the text on the bottom of her. So she's looking really good, and she's pretty much back together, minus all the wires you can see. Once she has her epoxy work done, I think she's gonna look absolutely amazing. And I absolutely love painting horses, so I'm super excited about painting her. All right, everyone, I am ready to sculpt. I'm so excited to sculpt this girl. So I'm gonna go ahead and sculpt her, so you guys can just sit back and watch me sculpt away. Okay, well, this is what she's looking like. Super sorry that speed scene was not the greatest. I didn't actually show you a whole lot on it. I've actually been doing just a whole bunch behind the scenes, and she is just so tedious and small here that it's just really hard for me. And if you're wondering why there's masking tape on my gloves, that's because these gloves are too big, so I taped them up. But anyways, so I think I'm also going to create more belly here for her, because when she sits on the ground, you can just see her belly in the air, and normally it's on the ground. So we have a few more joints to go, and she should be all ready to dry. All right, everyone, sorry about the jiggly camera for one, but this is what she's looking like. I'm not really sure what's happening there, but I have used up all my clay that I have used. Oh, this section needs to fall apart too, but she's just so fragile right now, and everything, the clay is very, very soft, obviously, and I'm just kind of done working on her right now. So at the moment in time that I'm working on her, it is very late for me, so I'm gonna go ahead, set her down, let her dry for 24 hours, and see where we're at. So I'll see you all in just 1 second. Okay, everyone, after a very, very long time of repositioning, sculpting, waiting for it to dry, I'm finally ready to sand her. So if you didn't notice already, I have changed up how her lovely little hip is here. It is now nice and hard and dry. I also went ahead and did her tail, just so I didn't have to wait any longer for her to be done. So now I'm gonna go ahead and sand her giant joint here. Go ahead and sand these down a little bit. I don't think they'll need much work. I think right here I might add a little super glue just to make that stay up there, but for the most part she only needs a little more work, and then I'll be able to paint her. I'm so excited for her coat color reveal and her name reveal. So I'm gonna get to work. Okay, and after just a couple of hours of sanding her, and yes, I did say hours, she was, I would say, a little up and down about sanding. There is a little bit of weirdness under her one leg, but that's just how it's going to be. It's just how I got everything to look good in the end. I'm super excited to get ready to prime her. So you're gonna go ahead and watch me prime her. So here is the reveal of her coat color. I'm going to be making her an albino. I'm so excited to make her an albino. I don't have one yet. So it should be super simple, white with a few gray shades, pink around the eyes, pink muzzle, and I'm giving her blue eyes, tan hooves, and she's gonna be an albino. So it should be super simple. And so yeah, I'm gonna prime her and see if there's any other flaws in her, and if there are, I'll fix them, and then I will get painting. So here is me painting this lovely girl. Gorgeous blue eyes are done. And the hooves have been completed. The ones that were tucked under were definitely harder, but I got them accomplished. Next, for the mane and tail. her mane and tail are finally done. I think her mane turned out a little better than her tail, mainly because I didn't originally paint her tail white, so I think that's why it's a bit darker than her mane, but I still absolutely love it. Now it's finally time to just paint seal her and call her done. Alright everyone, after hours of work and everything, she is pretty much almost done. She's not perfect and she never will be, and yes, she definitely has quite a few flaws, but I absolutely love her. And here's her name reveal, Angel. I have decided to call her Angel, but she is not 100% done. I have done something completely new, and this has been something I've been doing to all my customs. I went back and did this to all of them. I have bought some clear glow-in-the-dark paint, and I have been giving them a glow-in-the-dark brand. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably already seen this. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to her. It'll be super simple. It is my initials that for right now stand for horses and ponies. I'm going to go ahead and add this to her, and then to get it to shine, I use a black light. You can also try just shining her in the light like right now and then turning off the lights, but it works really well under a black light. So to do this, I'll typically just take a toothpick, dip it in the paint, and then draw on her brand. I'm gonna go ahead and do this off camera just because I want to make it look really nice and really good, so I want nice and crisp when I'm done. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this, and it's super simple. I just simply like draw it on her, and it's super simple, and I absolutely love this because it doesn't like completely bother my pictures, but if I kind of want it to show, I know how to get it to show, and it's just how I've decided to claim all my customs. Okay, and she is officially done. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my black light so you can see what I'm talking about. And just something I want to mention is, I don't know why, but she's giving me kind of like unicorn vibes for some reason. I don't know why, but she kind of is. So I'm gonna hit the black light in 3, 2, 1. There you have it. You can see her lovely little mark, and it fades away just like that. I absolutely love this, and this is just how I've decided to claim my lovely models. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now. The horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory resides with the Lord. Proverbs 21:31.